When you've had it for once and for all with the committees at Harbor Towers, Luxury Yacht and Racket Condominium Club, whatever you want to call it. This was once one of the very most beautiful buildings in the Sarasota area. What is going on? What has happened to it? It's being cleaned up in a lot of ways on one side, but on the other side, you have a lot of dysfunctional activities going on, such as what I'm dealing with right now on the marina in the marina area. Now, I know many of you are going to say this is just a disgruntled homeowner that is frustrated, trying to jockey for position. Absolutely not, and that's why I want to make this clear to everybody. I used to live downtown, and I had a condo that I bought for my father over 20 years ago. And when I had a boat, I kept it downtown, and when I would come to work, I would drive the boat to Harbor Towers and leave it in a slip, and I would go to work and then come back, take the boat, and drive it home. I thought it was just wonderful. Well, at that time, Melissa was very nice about her request and asked me if, or Annie, I'm sorry, it was Annie, offered. She goes, why don't you just get a slip so you have it and you don't have to worry about it? 'Cause there's always available slips. And I thought, well, that's a good idea. Maybe I'll do that. So I said, you know what? That's a really good idea. I went ahead and took the slip and I said, how long should I have it for? And she says, how long do you want it? I said, well, what's my option? She said, 5 years. I said, sure. So I had a 5-year lease. Everything's great. About a year into it, something got triggered in the committees. They started changing all the guidelines. And the guidelines changed so that the homeowners' guidelines overrode the committee guidelines. So if you had a tennis committee or a yard committee, a barbecues, I'm assuming that's how it works. I know there was a marina committee that gets overridden by the homeowners' rules. As ridiculous as they may be, that's what happened. So I had my boat at my slip. Life was just fine. And now all of a sudden I'm told that I can't have two boats in the building because I only own one unit. Well, I left the condo downtown with the understanding I have a slip here for my boat because along the way I purchased a carver. And this carver was another slip that I got a lease for. So now I've got the carver and I've got the Regal and I've got people upset with me. I don't know why, because there's plenty of space available. And you know why? Because if you get a unit at Harbor Towers, you can hold it for up to 7 months without a boat in it. I'm so bothered by that because it's not fair. As they tell me, you're taking up 2 slips when other people are looking for slips for their boats. Well, if they're looking for slips for their boats, why are you allowing people to hold them up for 7 months? It should only be 3 months at the most. If you don't have a boat in your slip after 7 months, that's when you get it taken away or reassigned. It should be after 3 months, in my opinion. Well, as the world turns and things go on here, they tried to kick me out, and I fought. I stood my ground, and finally, because I couldn't find another slip, all the marinas are full. So I end up getting a slip, and I said, guys, I'll take care of it. They were kind of backing down. I ended up saying, let's just move on and get along. I spent a lot of time on that marina. I spent a lot of time cleaning it, taking care of it, looking after it. So here I am at the other, I get another slip, and I'm going back and forth. I'd like to have the option of 2 slips. Well, I get my original boat back, which is the Regal, and I ran into trouble with it. I was having trouble with the engine. I needed to pull it under safe harbor. So I had to pull the boat over and have it looked at. As I'm having the mechanic working on it, the committee, or Annie, has the audacity to come over to the mechanic and send him home. I don't know if you guys know how hard it is to get a mechanic out to a boat these days, but that puts you back at the end of the list for another 4 weeks. Not going to happen. Well, I had to pay for all that. That cost me, and they have no right doing this to me or anyone else. My question is, what did I do to bother anybody? What have I done to anybody that's listening to this that would be offensive or a problem or made anyone's life uncomfortable. So here's what we find next. Ready? They come over with this. Surprise. A notice. And the notice reads, this vessel is trespassing on Harbor Towers and has no right to be docked. Please see the office for next steps. For one, this is nobody's business but mine and the homeowners or the committee. See the office for next step. I feel like these are kids that are trying to play business or office in the building. This is silly. This is so unofficial. There's no date. There's no signature. Does everybody hide behind what they say? Well, Pat, who's in charge of the committee, is great about pointing the fingers at everybody else. But you know what, Pat? You need to take responsibility for this on your own. Man up here. Stop hiding behind these guidelines that you're making. You have the homeowners able to override the committee. And so what good is it to have a lease if the homeowners can override what I've been given? Not fair in any shape or form. So I am going to now produce to you my lease. Okay, so I now produce this for you to see for yourself. Here is my lease. July 1st of 2019 and ending on December 31st, 2024. There are the terms, that's the beginning, and that's the end. And that's their signature, there's the date. And I ask you this. I'm sure many of you are saying this sounds so petty, but put yourself in my position for just a moment. If you were granted the right to do something, only to have a document that sits behind every committee or any deals that are done within the association that can override anything that's written, what good is giving me this? Why did you tell me that I could stay here until December of 2024 and then revoke it from me just like that? I ask you this, is this right? Do you feel this is right? There are people that are very, very interested in just control and power. And I'm sorry to say this, but it is what it is. It's disgusting how this is being run. And I just believe that everyone needs to take responsibility and do the right thing. Is that going to happen? I don't know. But we're going to spend a lot of money fighting because I've had it. I tried to do the right thing. So what is the problem? So I put a boat in, which is already with you, in the slip where my carver was. I didn't take up another slip. What is the problem? That's what I ask you. Who am I inconveniencing? What am I doing that is a problem to anybody? I've been granted one slip, and I have one vessel in it. That vessel is in Longboat, and I have my boat now in there until it's being fixed and taken care of. And then I'm going to be selling it and moving it on. And that's it. It's very simple. If you don't have paperwork, and I asked the office if I can just have a lease for this boat, and she said to me, Melissa, no, we don't want you. You're going to be evicted. For what? You'll find out. I mean, she doesn't even know. This is just, I'm not going to let it go. Next, it's going to go to 8 on your side. Next week, or a week after, while everyone's watching television, we're going to be in the news. I hate the fact that this is going to potentially happen, but I'm not going to be taken advantage of. If it were me, I think we should all get together. We need to get this board fixed and get these guys out of there. Pat does not need to be on this board. It's a good old boys club, and they need the right people on there. And if Pat, for any reason, thinks he's the right person for this job, then bring on people that are not afraid to voice their opinions. I have had it. This is bullying, because anybody else that would be granted this and have this done to them would probably have put their head down and left. And people have done that. So this is where our property values are going. We're going to get the big red flag of, oh my God, they have lots of problems in that building. Stay away from it. And guess what? We already kind of do. I want this cleaned up. We could still stop this. This is not worth fighting over. I need my slip. I have 2 boats. I have 2 slips. I did what they asked me. I moved the other slip away, and now I'm being told I don't have a right to be in a slip that's mine, that I've been granted access to. Please contact me, leave a message wherever you're seeing this, and let me know if you think that I have any grounds to be wrong here, if I'm not correct in my feelings and my position that I take in this matter. Thank you for watching this. I wanted you to hear it. I wanted you to see it. So there's no he said, she said, and anybody to guess. I've shown my lease. I've shown you my boat. I've shown you the document that was so poorly written. I would be surprised if anyone past a third grade education would have written that. I don't think a third grader could write something so poor either. Sorry, my opinion, very disappointed. Harbor Towers needs to be cleaned up, and I am willing to step up and do whatever it's going to take to clean this building up. So I'm not just complaining. I will take office. I will do whatever you want me to do. I've never done it before, but you know what? I've run companies before. I know how to do it. I know one thing, power will be set straight real quick, and so everyone else is going to play games. I want what's best for Harbor Towers. That's it. Nothing about personal gain, because when Harbor Towers does well, we're all going to do well. It's unnecessary and uncalled for.